Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Arizona Sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
Stop the presses. Kyler Murray is in danger of losing his starting job. Not for the Cardinals, mind you. Apparently, he is in danger of losing his starting slot on fantasy football teams all across America. One story I just read said Murray's inconsistencies are mind-boggling to those in the fantasy realm. He's one of 8 quarterbacks to log 24 or more fantasy points in at least 2 games, yet he also has 4 games where he's posted 15 or fewer points, well below the accepted minimum for a QB1. Now, unfortunately, those inconsistencies mirror real life, where the Cardinals' offense has been a serious disappointment in 2024, where the vertical passing game is practically non-existent, and where Kyler Murray is again looking way too frustrated on way too many Sunday afternoons. It makes you long for the quarterback who seems so happy and so optimistic over the summer, telling us all to bet the over. Now, many heartbroken NFL players learn a very hard lesson by the end of their careers, that the game of football simply will not love them back, and sometimes I wonder how Murray feels about that. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW, who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
With all due respect, Kyler did just say bet the over. He didn't say on what.
He might have been talking about Suns victories.
I mean,
could have been.
It was vague.
Could have been. Yeah. So it's all kind of coming to a head here. The season now, we're getting into a part of the season where there's some winnable games. Most people will tell you when they looked at the schedule that this is when the schedule lightens up, yet the Cardinals seem to be getting worse, at least in 2 of the last 3 games they do.
Well, and it's not going to be helped by the pile-up of injuries. I mean,
right.
Sunday in Green Bay was just eye-opening how many players went out with injuries, and now you got 2 more on injured reserve. If Bilal Nichols can't come back for the rest of the season, as some are suggesting is the case with the neck issue, the weakest position on the field gets even weaker. Look, it appears to be trending in a direction. And then it becomes more incumbent on Kyler Murray and the offense to figure things out. And I'm looking at Drew Petzing, and I'm looking at the offensive coaching staff and the offensive line and the wide receivers that, as a collective on 94 targets have only caught 60% of those passes. It's a very, very low number. There's things that are just not clicking. Jarrett called this to my attention, too, on Kyler Murray. And I sent you the rundown of the power rankings yesterday.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's so easy for people when they're breaking down Kyler Murray to go to a certain place. The Athletic has the Cardinals at number 22 in a power ranking.
All right.
The writer put, emboldened after leading Arizona to a 24-23 win over San Francisco in Week 5, Murray announced his involvement in the new Call of Duty Black Ops 6 game, which is set to debut October 25th. He might have gotten an early copy, though. Murray's EPA per dropback Sunday was his second lowest of the season, and he rushed for only 14 yards. Murray's 12 fantasy points produced against the Packers were the 10th fewest of his career. They always go to the Call of Duty card.
Always.
So
really? Oh, you want another one for that one? Or maybe you I think you had the USA Today headline in yours, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay.
But
no, actually, the recap here. This was just posted in For the Win, Vinny.
Yeah.
Let me find this headline for you, because this is too much. Headline, quote, Kyler Murray tempted fate with Call of Duty partnership, and fate won. That was a headline in USA Today.
You would expect that he was like 5 for 32. Fell asleep twice on the sideline.
Bloodshot eyes and
had 6 interceptions. It's so
carpal
ridiculous.
tunnel syndrome in his hands from playing all night.
Jared alerted me to this. Kyler Murray was on the This Is Football podcast, and that subject came up. He talked about it. Is he bothered by the Call of Duty jokes?
Did it bother me? No, I don't know. Again, I say I don't know who made me the face of it.
Right.
Because there's a lot of we all play the game. Not just me.
Right.
I know tons of guys that it's not necessarily a stress reliever, but it allows us to kind of escape the every day we're grinding, every day that we're putting in work in the film room, every day it's kind of a way to you're bonding with your boys, you're bonding with the guys that you grew up with, because sports takes you away from a lot of those people that you've known your whole life. So it's a way to be competitive and have camaraderie off the field, and I enjoy it. I know a lot of us play the game, but no, again the trolls, and like I said, the trolls have allowed me to kind of, if you ask me when I was 7 years old, you would be able to partner with Call of Duty. Hell yeah, every kid's taking that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, of course.
It's it's a privilege for me.
All right, so he's wondering why he's singled out when everybody plays the game.
That's fair.
And the follow-up question is, why do you think you were singled out?
Do you have any idea why you think you became the face of it? Or was it just a couple people made a joke? And
I think not only being good at video games, just like contractually, the thing that went on around my my contract and the nonsense with that, it just kind of like it kind of gave people, I guess, fire to make me the face of it. But other than that, man, I'm blessed that they were chose me. Obviously, the jokes and stuff have kind of been brewing, a conversation between us. We've been talking for a long time, so to be able to bring it to life has been amazing.
What do you have to say to the trolls now?
I just tell them thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate everything. I appreciate them all.
The nonsense about the contract he's talking about is the study clause. Which will go down if Kyler Murray finishes his career without winning multiple Super Bowls or multiple MVP awards. That will be the worst thing that ever happened to him, was the inclusion of that study clause. And for the life of me, still, we're years removed from it, Bick. It will never, ever make one shred of sense why that was in there.
Was it
why
done
it was
to embarrass the kid?
And why it was agreed to.
Well, yeah, right. Yes.
It won't ever make any sense to me.
Because none of it does. Because none of it will make sense to you. Listen, and the truth of it is, and people get so dim-witted about this stuff, the truth of it is 95% of athletes are video game addicts for good reason. They spend their working lives in athletic competitions and working out. When they are away from the facility, they are instructed, get off your feet. So you can do one of two things. You can watch Oprah. You can watch Game of Thrones. You can watch Adam Sandler movies.
You can go to a strip club.
You could do something counterproductive.
Right. Yes.
Or you can play video games. There's nothing wrong with it. Now, if you're staying up all night and not getting sleep, like DA admitted to, then you can say, okay, hold on. But that's more DA being a child, which he still is.
That's his whole philosophy. It doesn't matter what he's doing. He's dominating. You can't dominate.
You right, without being dominate. That's exactly right.
Dominate the players that live in Taiwan if you're not up at 4 a.m. when they're online.
So there's nothing at all wrong with this, and it's a shame that this becomes such a clapback. We even predicted it, and we're not alone. I'm sure everybody predicted this, that as soon as Kyler trolled the trolls with "Thank you for getting me the bag" from Call of Duty, Special Ops, or Black Ops, whatever it is, you knew the next bad game that was getting thrown back in his face. And it happened.
And it wasn't even that bad.
It wasn't even that bad of a game.
If that was as bad as it's going to get, I think Kyler Murray's actually risen to another level. But he needs to get the top end higher.
Well, yes, this offense needs to get unlocked is what it needs to do.
Yeah, that'll be a key this upcoming Monday, no doubt.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.